Today we're going to look at Unit 9, Section 4, which talks about the law of detachment, the law of syllogism, and the law of contrapositive. The law of detachment starts with a generalized statement. If P, then Q. If some condition, then something. And then it goes into a more specific P, resulting in Q. If some condition is true, then this whole something is also true. If you're a soccer player, then you enjoy playing sports. Since John is a soccer player, that means he's here. Here's John. John enjoys playing sports. There we go. The generalized statement, P, Q. Again, let's look at another. You live in Utah, then you live in the United States. If Samantha lives in Utah, and here's Samantha, what happens? Samantha lives in the United States. So lives in the USA. If you're in the 10th grade, then you're taking driver's ed. Ricky's taking driver's ed, so Ricky's here. He's taking driver's ed. He could be here. He could be here. He's somewhere in the driver's ed circle. Does that mean he's in the 10th grade? Not necessarily. So this is false. This, what we just did, was the converse. Remember, the converse is false. That's why it goes in the order. So here we go, law of detachment. We're going to see if these are true or false, valid or invalid. If two angles form a linear pair, that's P, they're supplementary, Q. So I gotta follow that format. I gotta say P, Q. A and B form a linear pair. That's P. They're supplementary. That's Q. So it's valid. It followed the format. A and B are supplementary. Does that match P? No, that matches Q. It's already invalid. Has to follow the format. Has to follow the format. If P, then Q. P, Q. Law of contrapositives. Now, we've already talked about contrapositive, so we have a good idea. So, law of contrapositive works off the same way. If P, then Q. So it starts the same way. Well, then we go into a specific not Q. Result is not P. So I have things flipped around. Our normal statement is if something, sorry, this is flipped around actually. These are supposed to be flipped. This should say if some condition, then something. So this statement's flipped. So this should say if not something, then not, if not condition, then not something. So basically, what it's saying is, hey, if I'm not in the something circle, I clearly can't be in the some condition circle. Now, I'm sorry, I'm messing this up here. This was supposed to say the opposite of this. So it should say not something, like I had originally. I messed myself up. Then not condition, because it's the contrapositive. Alright. Okay, law of contrapositive. If you're a soccer player, then you enjoy playing sports. John doesn't enjoy playing sports, so he's not in the sports circle, So he's outside the enjoy playing sports circle. So clearly, he's not a soccer player. If you live in Utah, here, then you live in the USA. Samantha doesn't live in the USA, so she's outside the USA circle. So clearly, she doesn't live in Utah. If you're in the 10th grade, you're taking driver's ed. Ricky's not in the 10th grade, so he's not in the 10th grade circle. He could be here, he could be here. It didn't follow the law of contrapositive. It said, this is not P, because that's P. Law of contrapositive says not Q implies not P. This is invalid. Just because he's not in the 10th grade circle doesn't mean he's not taking driver's ed. So, law of contrapositive, let's see if these match. Two angles from a linear pair, that's P, supplementary, Q. So it has to go, not Q, not P. If it doesn't follow that pattern, it's invalid for the law of contrapositive. Are not supplementary, that's not Q, are not a linear pair, not P, valid. Statement 1, A and B aren't a linear pair, that's not P. Like I just demonstrated, that's invalid. Has to follow the order. Let's look at our last law. Law of syllogism. Law of syllogism is a little bit more complicated. If P then Q, if Q then R, you can go straight from P to R. So let's look at this. If P implies Q and Q implies R, we can get rid of the middleman Q and go straight from P to R. Because think about it. If I'm here in condition 1 circle, I'm clearly in the condition 2 circle. If I'm in the condition 2 circle, I'm clearly in the condition 3 circle. So I can just jump. If I'm in condition 1, I'm clearly in the condition 3 circle. So let's go look at an example. If you're a soccer goalie, then you're a soccer player. If you're a soccer player, then you enjoy playing sports. John is a soccer goalie. So what's the jump? If he's a soccer goalie, he enjoys playing sports. He enjoys playing sports. I went from P straight to R. So here, live in Salt Lake City, you live in Utah. Live in Utah, you live in the USA. Samantha lives in Salt Lake City, therefore, she lives in the USA. Just go straight from P to R, because the P is inside of the R circle. Alright, you're in the 10th grade, you take driver's ed. If you're taking driver's ed, you're in high school. Ricky's in high school, so he's in the high school circle. I don't know anything about him besides when he's in high school. He could be taking driver's ed, he could be in the 10th grade, I don't know. Invalid. I can't make any valid conclusion based on my information. So let's do a couple examples. If Anne gets more sleep at home, she'll be more awake in class. P, Q. Since it's the law of syllogism, I need to immediately start with Q. She'll be more awake in class. See how I matched that? Immediately said Q. She'll work better in class. R. Anne gets more sleep at home. That matches P. I go straight to R. She will work better in class. I went straight from P to R. Adam watches the notes video. P. He'll be prepared for class. Q. Adam's prepared for class. Q. He will ace his quiz. R. Adam aces his quiz. R. It didn't match. This was supposed to say P. I don't know what I can say based on him acing his quiz. I can't say P, I can't say Q. All I know is ace his quiz. I can make no valid conclusion. Invalid. And that concludes the lesson dealing with laws.